idea that white is the default, so like that's the default in fantasy books. You have like the normal characters are the white ones, and then the kind of sideline or the interesting characters are relegated as characters of color. The exotic elements. Aang has big eyes, therefore he's white. Oh, and pale skin, because I guess Asian people don't have pale skin, and the big eye thing, of course, is a stylistic thing. The cartoon shortcut is to make children with wide eyes so that they look more childlike and more innocent. All of the adults, all of the airbenders do not look white. What else is there? That we're attacking the kids, which we're not. And that's definitely one thing that I want to stress. We're not trying to say the actors are at fault here, they're just taking a job. What we're concentrating on is the production companies, because they're the ones who make those decisions on who to cast and why to do that casting. Just as a side note, if somebody does let you know that they find something very hurtful or racially offensive, say, okay, I didn't know that. They're not calling you a racist, and they're not calling you out and telling you that you're part of the KKK or anything like that. They're just saying, this particular image or what you created here is not funny or not cute or not, it's a little too stereotyped.
I've never really thought about a direct connection between my fandom and my faith, but I can see a lot of similarities in the sense of why I'm attracted most to Star Wars as opposed to Star Trek or other such franchises. I think what I see now in retrospect, significant difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. Star Trek has a very utopian view of the world and of humanity and alien kind alike. But the problem with Star Trek and a utopian view of the world is it doesn't match reality. A utopian view of the world doesn't have any means to account for sin. Star Wars, on the other hand, always felt like a very more down-to-earth vision of reality. It's flawed. People are flawed, they're selfish, they have their ulterior motives, their agendas, and yet the whole appeal of Star Wars was that these nothings, nobody people got to interact and have adventures with princesses and knights. So it definitely appeals to a sense in all of us that there's something more to life than what we're experiencing right now, which in a lot of ways is parallels where we're at in a spiritual state, looking for some meaning and purpose in life beyond ourselves. I think the hero's journey or the desire to live vicariously through a hero like Luke Skywalker, a nobody, an anybody guy that's chosen or gifted in some special way to do great things. That parallels a lot, very closely, the fact that God has a plan for everybody's life, and many people haven't discovered it yet. And I see a lot of similarities between the Jedi of Star Wars and Christian practices, because after all truth is God's truth, and that's not to say that there isn't any errancy in the Jedi's teachings, but there's a lot of truth there, and it could easily come from God just as much as anything that's preached in a Christian church.
I read it going through high school, and actually it was funny, like right after I read the first book, I was a sophomore, so I had biology, and I'll admit it, I went into biology looking for a bronze hair guy. I was like, so I mean, like that's my favorite part about it, is just like the relatability with Bella, because most of us read it and went, wow, I am Bella. Yeah. So that was my favorite part.
It's a fun read, it's kind of escapism reading, like
Mind candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go back to Harry Potter.
It's fun.
Harry Potter's a feast. Twilight's candy. Twilight's good when you eat it. It's delicious. It's sweet. You eat too much, you get sick. You just take a break from it and then come back to it and eat it all again and gorge.
It's been a great trip. I mean, there are times where it goes in phases where I get really tired and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then we get a whole bunch of encouraging news, which totally brings you back up again and makes you totally geared towards fighting and trying to get as much word out as possible. So it's been interesting. I honestly never thought it would last this long, so I'm really happy that it has, and I really hope it continues right up until 2010. So here's hoping.
One of the comments we get a lot, especially like on iTunes reviews and stuff, is that like everyone feels that like we're the sisters that they never had, you know, like that they know us even though they've never really met us, and I think that kind of helps, you know, with why we're, I guess, popular.
We get a lot of listeners who talk about how they don't have anybody to talk to Twilight about, like all their friends think it's stupid or whatever, so they're able to like have their fix, as we call it, of Twilight with us, where, you know, they'll listen to us talk about it, and we're that friend that'll listen to them.
I think in general, you know, one of the things I've seen in fandom is a sincere desire to make a difference in the world, which is admirable, given that that's also a basic foundational practice or belief in most world religions. And so I would say that, you know, the people who are critics of fandom, I think they're missing out on the fact that for these people, fandom has actually led to them having a healthier, more balanced, well-rounded life than somebody for whom that's repressed. If anything, fans at least know how to have fun.
It's not like I'm like, yeah, I love trying to get abused by people and being called stupid and blah, blah, blah. That's what I love to do, and being ignored by Paramount Pictures. That's fun. No, it's not really.
They should replace Daniel Radcliffe with the Asian right here.
Alright, yeah.
He makes it sexier than Harry Potter.
You didn't ask me anything about Natalie Portman.
I didn't. Do you want to say something about Natalie Portman right now?
No, I probably shouldn't.
You sure?
Yes. I'm secretly in love with Natalie Portman.
Well, I can't wait for the next 2 movies to come out.
It's true, I like that.
Hopefully I won't look any older, because this is embarrassing. Because we still got 2 years. Oh, Jesus, I'll be 31. Can you cut that?
Not to mention, we met up with Kara, the documentary girl that we met in Comic-Con. And she's up here continuing to film her documentary.
By the way, big apologies, because we ended up meeting up with her after kind of like the big stuff had happened, and we were down from our high, you know, we were kind of ready to crash at that time. So she just kind of like followed us around, and basically most of her footage is us complaining about walking to the police station, like, ugh, I'm so tired. And Nicole, like, who hasn't had coffee yet, running around like Charlie. That's what the documentary will be.
Do you guys think I'm funny when I'm drunk? Try me not caffeinated. Same results. Same results.
May the Force be with you.
Epic.